Not know the extent of this SWAT operation, other than that one of the deputies is the team lead in that SWAT operation. This is all taking place in the 1900 block of Pacific Avenue South, which is actually 19,000 block of Pacific Avenue South, which is also State Route Highway 7, and that's where we find our Hannah Kim, who's on the scene there and actually saw some of this unfold. Hannah, tell me what's going on right now and what did you see?
Yeah, so Matt, this is a very alarming situation. I'm going to move out of the way so you can actually see what is going on at this very moment. So this is the 17,000 block of Pacific Avenue South. So we're in the Tacoma side and just a little bit of ways Spanaway. So it borders that area, just to give you guys, a perspective of where we are right now. At a distance, you see a bunch of police cruisers out there, most of them from Tacoma Police Department, because again, this is in the Tacoma district. As you mentioned, Matt, we've got 2 SWAT officers who were shot. We do know that much. We're not sure exactly what department. We haven't confirmed yet, and we are not comfortable also to release at this moment what their condition is. But what we do know is that around 30 minutes ago, when we were driving to another scene for another story, we started seeing a bunch of police cruisers whiz by us, and I counted personally maybe 20 or so. And just from that presence alone, you know that this is a very serious situation. Then minutes later, we were able to confirm that 2 SWAT officers in Pierce County were shot. We do not know the circumstances behind what started all of this, and as you can see, it has shut down this roadway, so it is somehow involved in all of this. This roadway is shut down in both directions, Pacific Avenue South. As you mentioned, the exact location is the 19,000 block Pacific Avenue, but right now we are in the 17,000 block, so a big distance is shut down right now as they investigate this alarming situation. Again, we have done many stories like this, unfortunately, in the past, but it is very alarming when you personally witness 20 or so police cruisers go by you in such fast succession, and so it makes you really concerned about the conditions of these officers. I can tell you that we saw both of the ambulance vehicles go by us. We saw one go by escorted by several police officers, and then minutes later we saw the second ambulance go by, assuming, of course, they were being transported to the hospital at this time. So this is all we know right now. We do have a lot of people standing around, looking around. I know you don't see it in this camera shot, but if Erica wants to pan over to her left, we can show you. Obviously, this has gotten a lot of attention from residents and neighbors around here. You see people standing around, looking, taking cell phone pictures. Of course, this is something that you don't see every day, so people are just taking this in right now. We are going to continue to, monitor this situation. A lot to develop. There's a media staging area not far from here, so hopefully we'll get some more information throughout the day. Back to you, Matt.
Hey, Hannah, can you hear me if I ask you a question? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
So we're looking down, what street is that we're looking down in? Is that the crime scene down where those police cars are, or is it off the street?
At this point, as I said before, we're not sure, Matt. This is Pacific Avenue South in the 17,000 block. So you see these cruisers in the middle of the street, but they're out of their cars and they're looking for something. So evidently there is something more to be, sought out on the side of the street there. But as far as the details go, we're not exactly sure if this is the actual place where the officers were shot or if from a distance. So all of that needs to be gathered.
Thank you very much. Hannah Kim reporting from the scene there in Spanaway, where we have confirmed that at least 2 officers, we believe from the Pierce County Sheriff's Department, at least one report we have there from the Pierce County Sheriff's Department, involved in a SWAT operation, have been shot. We also have been told at least one suspect is in custody. We don't know the condition of that suspect, if they were involved in the shooting or they were injured, or how many suspects there may be involved in this. And again, the 2 officers involved reportedly have injuries and were taken to St. Joseph's Hospital. Just looking at this shot down Pacific Avenue South, and because Hannah's location is several blocks away, that gives every indication that they've set up a perimeter and they may be looking for other people involved in this operation. And again, this happened at roughly around noontime there in Spanaway. We do not know the reasons why they were performing a SWAT operation on a house in that neighborhood or in a vehicle. The scene at the camera shot at the scene doesn't really allow us to make a speculation on that point right there. The only thing we're still in touch with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office about the conditions of the officers and what they were possibly doing at that scene. Again, they're asking the public to avoid this area at the 19,000 block, that's Highway 7 and 190th Street there in Spanaway, because they've set up a perimeter, obviously, and they would like to have the public stay away from the situation. If we have any more information regarding this scene, this shooting in Spanaway, we'll be bringing it to you and interrupt our programming. Again, I'm Matt Markovich, Fox 13 News, and we go back to our regular programming.